Greetings, freaks and folks. This is Death. So, welcome back, my fellow freaks and folks. Declared your allegiance to the Ruination, I hope, as I did with today's video. This is incorporating the Viego in the deck that is called the Lich King. Now, if you don't like long as deck text, there will be a too long didn't watch version of the deck tag in the video description as a timestamp. And we will go over this deck as a whole. I thought a lot about Viego and how you should play him, and I ended up having him as a solo kind of thing, because most of the time, yeah, you want to kill things on your board to trigger his effect, right? But it felt a bit clunky with other champions together. Like with Kalista, it would be probably the best one. But then I ended up just concentrating on putting Viego into different regions. I tried him out with Ionia, for example, with the Deny Shell and everything that provides Ionia. But at the end, I had this version where I paired it up together with Freljord, because Freljord is a classic control combination, as I and Freljord together, as we have access to AoE effects like Avalanche and like the Blighted Ravine, which we are having as a 2 of here each, and also like Harsh Winds is really important in today's in the meta that's running around right now with all these OTK things, where Lee Sin, for example, who wants to just OTK you with his attack stats, as well as the Sivirs and all these Dravens and Rivens that are running around. And Harsh Winds can completely shut this down, as well as the 2 of 3 Sisters that can provide us with a Flash Freeze, for example. And this is mainly the idea behind this, where I thought we just want to get to the late game with Viego, where we level him up and where we get him rolling to steal either his minions, I wanted to say, his followers, or we just kill the strongest champions on the board if they are. And it's easy to keep him alive in a shell like this, as, like I said, we have access to freezes, we have access to Fear of the North to pump his stats, or to entomb him if he gets heart removed in any shape or form. You could also argue to run things like Troll Chant, for example, to keep him better alive, but ultimately I thought it's not necessary. I'd rather have things like Babbling Berk, for example, that will tutor our Viego out of the deck. Either it will get us the 3 Viegos that we have in deck, or it will give us the one of Invited Hydroine that I have here as a, yeah, kind of better version. I said this in the last video about Viego, than the Camoran Soldier, that is also getting us an Encroaching Mist upon summon, but won't give us another one each round start, right? It's like the big 7-drop he does from Viego himself. As we can pump him up and all the Encroaching Mists in the deck. And then I've thought a bit further, well, this is the classic shell for They Who Endure. So I ended up adding this card because it also goes really well together with Viego, as he will, as he triggers, spawn these Encroaching Mists, as well as, like I said, the Camoran Soldier. So we have an easy time pumping up our They Who Endure to an extent where it gets really, really thick and is a threat in itself, alongside 2 of Atrocity that I have here, that we can put either on the They Who Endure or the very big Viego at some point if we have to. But other than that, we have removal like Vengeance, or full board removal like Ruination as a 2 of here, and we want to, these tools keep us alive at the end of the game where we want to be at with Viego, right? We have a one of Navigated Collector, for example, that will give us health back, together with things like Helpless Aristocrat. Is the most classic 1-drop. I thought about a lot of versions like with Wings and the Wave and everything, but this is ultimately just better because it has 1 attack and has 2 bodies for 1 mana, even though they don't come at the same point into the game. But if we run removal like Avalanche, it's even better than Wings and the Wave, right? Because we can then remove everything and stay with the Spiraling in the end. We also have a 2 of Kindly Tavern Keeper, which also keeps us alive and heals our Nexus 3 or our Viego if he's threatened by more damage. Because sometimes we want to block with him and he can drop low on health, and then they want to remove it when they get excited or whatever. And we can heal him with things like the Kindly Tavern Keeper. A Babbling Berk, like I said, to tutor them out, and the Chronicle Rune as a 2 of here to, one, make use of the steal a follower if we manage to get Viego rolling, and we steal something at the strongest follower this round. And then we can put the Chronicle of Ruin it and steal it forever. Like, not only to the end of the turn, but it will kill this ally, then gets revived and is now ours permanently. This is something, a combo that you can also pull off with Possession, but here is an ongoing Possession, right? It would trigger every round start. As well as we can kill this Bubbling Berg, and this is a summon effect, so you tutor out another Viego, or potentially a then Viego's Despair if we have a Viego on board already. We can also put this on Invasive Hydra and we'll resummon yet again an Encroaching Mist and potentially even heal this unit, as it may have taken damage, and we can put a Chronicle of Ruin on it to heal up yet again. Other control things like Vile Feast are in this deck. The classic Shadow Isles Freljord control list is what we have here most of the time, and this is basically the whole deck idea. And we will jump into the Too Long Didn't Watch before we jump into the games. So hello there, you love that with little time. This is a deck built completely around Viego, and I wanted to make him work in this control list, as this is combining Freljord and Shadow Isles in a classic control list, and these are the best control package cards together in my opinion. Provides us with a lot of AoE spells and healing, alongside things like They Who Endure, which will get pumped up by all these Encroaching Mists that will be spawned upon Viego's, and also his followers, things where we get Encroaching Mists rolling. They die because they're ephemeral, and they will pump up our They Who Endure and be a threat in itself. That's why a full set here, alongside a lot of hard removal like Ruination and things like that. And if you want to know everything and all the cards, you can always jump back, and we will jump into the games together right now and see how we're doing. Let's go. Okay. First matchup is Sivir and Akshan. I think I want to keep the Blighted Ravine. It can kill the Action potentially. Harsh Wind's a bit too early, but the other ones is definitely what I want to keep. As we can curve out the Sentry into Avalanche, for example, or Blighted Ravine later.
Steady now.
Hmm. Don't really care about these 2 damage, because we can heal up with the Blighted Ravine. I don't think I play anything here. I don't have to. If he wants to play Akshan, be my guest. We can Avalanche afterwards.
We love it when they run.
Alright. Still not playing anything, because he can run through with the Merciless Hunter. Most of the time he will challenge it with a Hunter. But maybe he won't, because he's afraid of Avalanche. Could also be the case.
Careful.
But most of the time, people are greedy. Oh no, he's not. Interesting. Well, that's fine. We take 7 damage here. And we can go with that. I could also tutor out the Viego, but I wanted this vulnerable thing to hit the Encroaching Mist.
Quick hands make quick work.
Yeah, I think this is the moment where I want to Avalanche. Get to remove 2 units, as well as lowering the HP of Merciless Hunter. Start by offering the trait, because we are low on mana. Our opponent has 3 mana more than we do. Takes the trait, that's completely fine. And we can now decide to apply either the Tavern Keeper or Björk. I don't think we really need the HP as of now, or rather go with the Björk. Shoot out my Viego, and we end round. Alright, it's making sense. We have an answer for that. With the Hapless Aristocrat. He spawns both of them. That's completely fine. Another answer for that. All these units will feed our They Who Endure if we draw into it. The Sivir coming down would be not ideal, because we can't spread out anymore. Like, we could play the Tavern Keeper, right? But that's about it. Yeah. Unfortunately, she will level upon hitting. Yeah, I have the Tavern Keeper here. I love that they are still bugged in the exchange. Yeah, we gotta block everything here, we got no choice.
Bar the doors! Ready the torches!
Do it like this. I mean, he could give the rune runner a quick attack. I think that's a stupid way to... The attack order is wrong.
I go where the trouble is. It's never too far.
It's never too far. Alright, we find the soldier. We don't really get the Viego running, but we have to deny their game plan as opposed to getting ours rolling. So what we do here is we come over on soldier. Hopefully he develops a bit into it, because I want to Blight Refine. Alright. Maybe we can bait him to play anything more than this with this attack. We pass over initiative like that. In the very best case, the Sivir will block, but he obviously never does that. Come on, develop another 2 HP unit. I know you want to. Rock Hopper or whatever. Alright. He does that. Yeah, if he has an Absolver, we are in a pickle. Let's see, next turn we have a total of 9 mana, so we could potentially double freeze the Sivir and survive the round. But for now we do this, get rid of the Rune Runner, because this will go through the spell shield. Right now we have a jump blocker for her, so... Oh! Alright. Yeah, this Shapestone is... Oh, poor guy. Yeah, I'm sorry to say that, dude, but you're getting frozen. It happens if you get cocky. So we can play this now.
Where are you?
Next turn we definitely Viego. We could Avalanche into Blight Refine as well, but I feel like this is the better play. And get rid of this double attack Sivir. Let's see here. I could also Avalanche now, right? That is a tough choice. I think I do want to force him to get rid of the Sivir. Because if he has another ghost in hand, we can't really deal with it, besides removing her with Atrocity, and that's not really what I want to do. Oh! Holy smokes. He just takes the full hit. Yes, so I'm playing my Blight Refine here. Not even shitting around. If this last card is a ghost, we have Atrocity to win the game. And other than that, if he develops, we can Avalanche to kill the Sivir. But I think I'd rather go just for the Atrocity and just hope he doesn't have a Red of Negation in hand. And we get him. Boom!
I will take back what is mine. All of it.
All of it. If you enjoy this, why not showing it to YouTube? And subscribing. It's also a good idea. Alright. Our second match is a mirror. Let's see who built it better. By the way, I haven't seen... I've run into mirrors, but I haven't seen the version with They Who Endure. So let's see what is better here. We don't need the control tools really, because they have it, or they are control deck themselves. So we don't need to have that many AoE effects. But Soldier is something we always want to have. I mean, it doesn't really matter in which scenario. This is just overall a good card to pump our Encroaching Mist and Viegos. Open attack. Goes the Soldier.
These old eyes still see far and near.
Do I go for the Glimpse? I think I'm gonna try. Most of the time they have Vile Feast, but then I have it out and we can Avalanche next turn. Or we get it through and draw the cards for free. Ooh, I love the Chronicle of Ruin. Into Comaver and Soldier. Boop. who you were. We take up the two of them to not give him the full AoE value if he goes on Avalanche himself. So if he wants to Avalanche, he still kills one of his units and only one unit of mine. But we haven't found the Viego, and as I know mirror matches, they definitely have the Viego in hand. Or Tarkus, the Triplus, okay. Interesting. What is Tarkus doing in this deck though? It's kind of weird. Alright, getting the Collector out. I think just an occasional jump block like this. Do find the Björk, but I really want to go for the Soldier. I think it's the better play. Do I go? I don't really know what I would need Avalanche for in this round. So I'm going with the Björk. I want the Viego in hand. In the mirror, it's important to be the first to get the Viego out. What is he waiting for? I'm guessing it's taking one.
Look out for reavers.
Maybe he wants to ruinate.
You small or me big?
Or a second of that. Hope he doesn't open attack. So I can develop my Viego.
Brave or stupid?
Alright, he does open attack. So we suck his HP one by one. Together with the Neverlight Collector. And I think now it's time to Viego.
She waits for me beyond the mist.
My queen! And there's the Ruination. Kind of to be expected. But I do have a second one in hand. This turn we even have the means to protect him with an Entomb, if he has a Vengeance, for example. Alright. I kind of can counter that with the Soldier. Okay, Val Feast. I actually won't attack, and the reason being I will keep the Ephemeral for next turn. It's really important to know about Viego. Because if I attack now, I get the Ephemeral right away, his proc. But if I don't attack and pass here, my Ephemeral will die, and the other Ephemeral that's created will be kept for the next turn. It's really important to know. Alright, we find a Daehunjor, which is already really thick. I think we are definitely ahead. For now. I guess I'm avalanching here. Because he will wants to play his Viego. And he wants to see his power dying, right? And by doing this, I put this also in the range of dying to my Encroaching Mist. I mean, I have a bigger one anyways now. But he can't attack with the Invasive Hydrovine. And there's Mr. Viego. Normally he never attacks here. Which means I will just develop this and the Daehunjor, I think.
What's that noise? You gotta believe me.
Yeah, he wants to proc the effect of Viego. And I don't really want him to do that, so we just skip. Chill. And then we can do a Blighted Ravine. I think I just endure. And then we'll see how he plays next turn. So we can attack like this. There's his own freeze.
I command you. Bar the doors.
Could still have a Vengeance for my Viego. I mean, I could also just freeze with this, right? I only need one freeze for now. Yeah, it's looking better. If I need to, I still have the Harsh Winds open. This means my Viego will level unless he does have the Vengeance or a Crumble. Both of these would really, really hurt.
What will you have?
I guess no Vengeance for you, my friend. Meaning we can also develop this.
They're out there.
I'll spot him. And we level up.
The Shadow Isles are just the beginning.
And now... take out our sword. And we let their Viego serve. I have lethal in hand now with Atrocity, but he will run freezes. So Atrocity most of the time isn't how we win here.
Leave your bags in the door.
Yeah, he has a hard time staying alive here. Double Hydrovine. Which means if I Avalanche and Hydrovine, is it worth it? I don't know. Just Hydrovine.
Ready the torches.
Now that he used his attack, we can jump block these and use our Avalanche anyways to also clear these Kandi Tavern Keeper jump blockers. And also his Hydrovine will die. Let's finish him off, shall we? Surrender. Oh, dude. This is just so unfair. How you snowball with Viego once he's leveled. The absolute power. Boom.
All this for her.
All for her. Alright, we face Lee Sin and Akshan. Unless he puts the spell shield on the Lee Sin, we have the means to freeze him, which means I definitely keep the harsh winds. But Chronicle of Ruin is most of the time a late game card, or a later game card. But we find the second one anyways. And together with the Björk, this is also a lovely combination. Also find the Hydrovine. He goes in and out. We let that through. Second Chronicle of Ruin. Bingo! Okay, let's see if he open attacks. Okay, he does not. Let's see, if I lose the Chronicler now, he could play both of these Waking Sands. So, wait a minute. See what he does. Okay. This makes it easier for me. Can block one of these. Trade them off, draw a card. And then we can Wyrm Björk. And next turn, we look into Viego. Well, he didn't use any of his mana. I mean, 1 mana, but...
Submission or death for all who live.
For all who live. Here comes the Waking Sense to block my attack. It's completely fine. I don't mind that at all.
Only I
Can endure the Thing's fury. Alright. Somebody is going in with Lee Sin. We do have the means to freeze him, but I rather would not to. But maybe this is already the turn where we need to runate. I hope he drops below 4 mana.
You cannot run from absolution.
I think on his position I would have burst speed, have the sense on charger, as opposed to draw a card. Okay, he does tap out completely, which means I can ruinate now.
My lands need prepare yourself.
Perfect. Really off. We do have 3 HP left, or less, but yeah, we get to clear his board. and his overwhelm Lee Sin. That's why you don't tap out against if the other one has Ruination Man up. Just to get myself an encroaching mist every round from now on.
Scores to settle, crooks to kill.
He does find the second action. But that's fine. We do have a jump blocker for the action next turn. We could even argue to block with the Invisive Hydro Vine. So Lee Sin is leveled. Not ideal. But he needs to find another second Lee Sin, is the thing. And we have... Yeah, our Endure is a bit small. So let's see how we approach this. Could freeze him, in case he wants to challenge my Hydrovine and kill it. Do we do it though, is the question. Alright, now we do. Now we definitely freeze him. Yeah, he wants to keep his mana open. Is naturally a good decision. But not... Like, this is fleeting. Like, you should use it. And if he doesn't, I don't take any damage, so I don't really care. So what we can do now is... go with this. And... we double up on that. Who you were.
We each hold a world within.
He does find that dragon.
Breathe out.
Do I go for a second Ruination? Do I try it? Could also just go with the Endure, but it's only a 10-10 by now. Let's deal with that, because this will keep our options open. I will try to remove it. These units. He knows I have a Ruination, which means I can use this to my advantage and buy a little bit of time. There's my Viego, finally.
Villains beware.
Why does he give it double challenger? What? What are these plays? I mean, I guess he wants to progress the Warlord's Horde. Sure, go ahead. So we can now play him. Only for her. And for us. And I can proc his ability this turn. To be fair, I could have done this with a Well Feast as well. But maybe we need it later in the game.
Will you return malevolence?
Let's see, am I willing to open attack here? Could threaten a big attack because I have Fearsome and Akshan has to block. But at this point maybe he doesn't care about his action too much. It's probably better to actually play one of these. And make him waste more resources on it. Probably has a stun, Concussive Palm, but then we have it out. Drawing more cards. And there he finds the palm. Let's trigger Viego's ability then. So we have the means to attack with the... I think that was a Noblify. Yeah, attack doesn't really make sense. I mean, to be fair... if I attack with this, I at least get rid of one of the Tail of the Dragon. Take it like this. Could pump this up to an extent where it's very high. I mean, he needs 5 more attack on this. This is possible. And I don't have a freeze open. I'd rather attack like this. Yeah, the other was stupid. You have seen nothing. But at least I have him to take 4 more HP. And then he's leveled. Oh fuck, there's a spell shield. I can't freeze him anymore.
We laugh at death. Ha! In and out.
Oh, come on. Not like this. Oh boy, that's stupid. Why does he find spell shield in his friggin... Yeah, I mean, I can do this, or...
Please, I have connections.
It's actually down to 0. I have no way to heal. Yeah. It was very unfortunate. We needed another wild feast or anything to survive this. At least we had leveled up animation. With this, yeah. GG. It was a good game. It was very close. Hey, and our last matchup, also a mirror. This time with Elise and Demacia. Should be favored in this matchup as we have things like Ruination. And this should be a really good thing to have. This Three Sisters could be good, but maybe a bit too early. I want to keep the Viego. And also the Soldier. We do find double Viego and yeah, parts of our late game. But for now, we look pretty decent. He does have the Elise turn 2. That's completely fine, as we have a solid blocker for this now. Alright, he has his soldier himself. No need to attack here. Because this would enable Elise's skill, the crawling sensation. I think I'm blocking like this. In case he plays the crawling sensation, we can then play the Blight Ravine. And if not, that's fine as well. Did an exchange here, and we can go for Viego.
She waits for me beyond the mist.
My queen! There's the vengeance. So one Viego down. But fortunately for us, we have the Leho Endure as a second win condition. So we're pretty good. Start off with the Aristocrat. Did it move? And now that he tapped below
Quite the dish, aren't you?
below that. I mean, he could go Viego, but he could also go for the least level up, and I don't really want to do that. Let him have that. So yet again we pass and play the Hydrovine. Alright, he plays this dragon even. Very interesting. I think I do want to attack, and I'm not attacking with this because it will pump up the dragon, but I do want to attack with this. If he wants to pump this up and kill it, it's fine. If not, we get to strike the Nexus. And we can do this to prevent the level up of Elise. Alright, he did have sharp sight. This means he can hit us pretty good.
Smooth as silk.
But we have a 4-white board. And we have Vengeance back up now. Quite big of a hit, which means I'll rather get rid of this. Do I though? Yeah. We could have an Atrocity to counter that. But he does not. Meaning we go down to 7. There's Viego.
Or death for all who live.
Meaning... Okay, we have a 1 Atrocity now. Our Endure isn't really big. Yeah, we start with Viego.
I do this for her. For us.
For us.
This is my ambush.
Okay. His miss is only a 2-2 at this point. So he can't block into my fearsomes.
Oppose me and
Die. If I play this on the Hydro Vine, I won't get the second encroaching mists, unfortunately. I don't have the space. Oh, I'll take like this. Okay. We get to hit him for quite some damage. I think I'm playing this just to have a fearsome blocker next turn. Or two fearsome boxes rather. Okay, or Viego's almost there. We do have the harsh winds. Really, really key card. And die. Block like that. Level our Viego. Let's see if he has the atrocity. He doesn't, and we knock him out. Boom.
Without her, there is only darkness.
Only darkness. I do realize I end the video with the same quote like the last Viego video. Definitely had a blast playing this deck. Check it out yourselves if you haven't already. They Endure is a perfect addition. Let me know what you think of that in the comments. And let us discuss a bit. And other than that, I see you probably on the next weekend. Maybe I manage to pull out a video during the week. But other than that, you stay legendary. Until the next one. Vlad out.
Come on!